Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Annalise, and today we are going to be doing episode 2 of Things I Am Learning. Now, this is a segment that I did not that long ago, and you guys seem to really enjoy it, so we're going to do it again. Let's get to it. It is finally sweater weather in Tennessee, which is why I'm wearing my big comfy sweater, very cozy and ready to have a conversation with you guys about what's been going on with me. I am currently attempting to learn one of our original songs on guitar. So you guys have seen me play guitar in a couple of videos. I'm a beginner at best, and Michael teaches me a lot of chords and things. You know, I'd like to be able to confidently play guitar on stage one day. I don't know, I'm very shy about it. I taught myself piano when I was a freshman in high school. I was very personal about it. I taught myself piano on my own via learning how to read piano chords and things like that with my knowledge of musical theory, and also YouTube was very helpful. YouTube is great. But I did get used to playing piano on stages and stuff in high school. I did Battle of the Bands, and I played Fix You was the very first song. That was our opener. I really liked to make it a whole experience, so I would have us play like kind of an acoustic, cinematic, vulnerable song first to really reel in the audience. So we did Fix You by Coldplay, and I played the piano. Playing guitar on stage is scary to me. I want to learn and have a better concept of the instrument. So that has been one of the things that I've been learning and practicing. I have really good rhythm, like natural rhythm, but my hands are very small. So playing guitar really with this left hand, I struggle a lot with that. But I practice and practice and practice until I can get it right. And maybe, hopefully, there will be some footage of me playing one of our original songs on guitar at some point that you might see. Next thing that I have learned that I cannot stop thinking about. I learned this like last week, and I just can't stop thinking about it. I read about pigeons. Sorry, this is so random and weird, but if you're going to get to know me personally, I'm random and weird. So I was learning about pigeons and about how, like, you know, many years ago, humans domesticated pigeons. Obviously, we had pigeon carriers, which, if you don't know what that is, basically we trained pigeons to be our mail carriers. So they took your letter from here to there to get it to your loved ones. I mean, that alone is like really cool. Like, pigeons must be very smart to learn that. But what's crazy is that we domesticated pigeons, and then we got our own mail system going. So we no longer needed pigeons. And then we just abandoned them, and we deemed them dirty, and we just cast them to the side. And now, when you see a pigeon, you see a bunch of pigeons in New York City, you know, in the cities, just like gathering and all this stuff. And we're like, oh, ew, oh, the pigeons, so they carry disease. But what's crazy is the reason that the pigeons do that, and the reason that they stay in these populated areas in these cities, is because they don't know what to do without humans. They don't know what to do without us. We just like abandon them, and they're like, what do we do now? We don't know how to be birds. It's actually really sad, and I can't stop thinking about it. It actually like breaks my heart a little bit. They struggle to nest. They struggle to make their nests because they don't know how to survive and live without humans. And it's just like we turned our backs on them. I'm a fan of the pigeons. I'm sorry, but it's not their fault. Like, what were they? How humans are mean. Humans are awful. Okay, next thing that I have been learning lately, or thinking about, or reflecting upon, my bandmates and I have been writing a lot of music lately. I want to tell you guys a little bit more about our dynamic in the writer's room. Each of us kind of play a part. It's usually just, typically, it's the three of us. I usually come in with like a concept or like a lyric or something that I think would be a good subject to write a song about. And then we just like, we'll work off of that, or somebody will bring in a half-baked song, maybe a verse or a chorus. Or there may be like an entire song, and then we kind of like tinker with it and work on it and make everything fit. Yeah, it just kind of depends on the mood. Lately, I have been having a lot of song ideas like in my dreams. I don't know, they're not really like dreams. It's kind of like, you know, when you fall asleep and you're like kind of still awake, but you're also kind of asleep just before like you hit REM. That like middle state, like I'll get a song idea, a melody idea, sometimes even lyrics, and I will shoot up out of my bed and pull out my voice memo on my iPhone and record it. I've been enjoying that because that doesn't happen to me too often. But speaking of that, this is like one of the probably the biggest things that I've learned in the past couple of weeks. We wrote this song a little while ago and we've been developing it. We were listening to it and the boys and I are just like kind of shaping it out. So on our own, we're listening to the song. Cal asks me, he's like, you know, I've been listening to this song and I just feel like maybe, like, did we write this song about your dad? And for those of you that don't know, my dad died about 5 years ago, and I haven't been able to write a song about that at all. It just kind of, every time I've sat down and tried to get my feelings about that subject out in a song, it goes nowhere. Like, the words they don't do it justice the way that I feel. I sort of decided that if I ever want to write a song about that, it will come to me, it will happen. So anyway, I was like, you know, that's crazy. Because here's the thing, when we wrote this song, we were writing with no destination. Mike was like noodling around on the guitar. We liked what he was doing. I came up with some melodies. And the lyrics kind of didn't really mean anything. Like, there was no overall concept. We were just seeing what happened. We ended up with a whole song. The concept of the song, after we wrote it, was sort of this hypothetical situation. It wasn't about anything legitimate. But when Cal said that, I was like, I don't know. Let me listen to it and I'll think about it. And I listened to it thinking about what he said, and I was just bawling. I started sobbing. And I know this might sound crazy, but hear me out. Anybody who's lost someone and has been through grief will understand what I'm saying, and if you've never lost anybody, you won't get it, and that's okay. I'm glad that you don't understand what I'm about to say, but after you lose somebody, like, you look for signs, you look for signals, things that they may send you to say, hey, I'm here, love you. They sometimes seem like coincidences. Sometimes you're kind of like, oh, I'm reaching, that's not a sign, like, it's just a butterfly, like, that's all it is. I believe that love transcends space and time, so when I get little signs from him, little messages, I accept them and I say thank you. I had been talking to my dad a lot. Like, in that span of like 3 weeks, I'd been talking to him a lot, and I was talking to him a lot about music and my fears and my dreams. I also had been seeing a lot of signs. I saw his name everywhere. To me, this song really felt like he helped me write it. It's weird, like, I didn't mean to, but it really is about him. I guess I'm realizing that my grief goes on in the background. It's been long enough now to where I feel differently about grief than I did even a year ago. I never really thought I would be here. Like, when you lose somebody in the first like 3 or 4 years, it just kind of feels like I'm never gonna ever be happy again, and I'm never gonna be able to smile about them. That's not true. Like, you will. You'll finally get to a place where you feel like you can laugh without feeling guilty. I think for a while I was afraid to get past the grief because I thought if I got past it, that meant that I was forgetting about him, but like, that's not true. I feel really lucky to have him still watching over me and my mom and my family. So, something else that I also feel like I'm learning right now is just to do things anyway. Recently, we went out of town to play a gig. It was amazing. It was incredible. I'm still a little bit high from that, honestly. We were gonna meet some new people and meet a new photographer and do all kinds of different things. Before the gig, we were gonna do a little photo shoot, and it was just kind of chaotic, like just a lot. And I was so nervous about everything. It was all kind of put together last minute, and I wanted it to go really well. And I was nervous about the show. it was a really big event and I wanted to do an amazing job, and there was travel involved, and it was just so much. I guess I realized that every time I'm nervous about stuff like this, specifically when it comes to music and like photo shoots and music videos and shows, at the end of it, when it's all over and done with, I always feel like that was so much better than I imagined it would be. Why was I so nervous? Why was I so scared? Like, what was the point? I am going to make sure to remind myself that it's always better than I think it's going to be. It always goes relatively smoothly, and even if it doesn't, I've got my bandmates by my side, and we'll handle it. I think those are the main things that I've been learning as of lately. Let me know what you are learning as well. I'd love to hear what you've been thinking about. And if you have any opinions, questions, whatever, for any of the things that I talked about today, comment below and we can chat about it. We have a new song coming out on November 3rd called Empty Hearted Man, and you can pre-save that now. The link is in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Pre-save it. Pre-saves are so helpful for independent bands like us. I know it might seem kind of like a headache, and I'm always asking you to pre-save, but trust me, it goes a long way. It gives us a chance to be put on playlists and be placed in front of larger crowds. Yeah, Empty Hearted Man, November 3rd. Anyway, thank you so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Once again, my name is Annalise, and yeah, I love you. Bye.